A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. This is a collective reading and I'm picking on to the energy of a person who is obviously not into karmic, because this is a strong message that has been sent to me via different situations, that there are some people on this planet who are on the ascension journey, on the twin flame ascension journey, and they have realized a lot of things. They have learned a lot and they've realized a lot of things. And it's not like these type of people are everywhere, because as it is, ascensioners are not very huge in number. And whatever number there is right now, these people are very dedicated and devoted on finding the truth. Please understand that they are not ascending because they are doing some special activities or practices. One of their most important trait is to be the lover of truth. They just want to stick to the truth. What we call in Hindi and Sanskrit is Satya. Satya. Satya is the most important thing, the most important journey that a man and a woman, a human being, has to take. Anybody, in fact, who's on planet Earth, if they want to get out of the illusion, the Maya, which is falsehood. So illusion is falsehood, and this is the path of truth. So people who want to get out of Maya, the trap of Maya, and want to remain or live in the vibration, in the high vibration of truth, they become the lovers and the researchers and seekers of truth. And because relationships play such an important role in the lives of most people these days, because please understand, this is not the typical householder life that we are living. We are living in a world which is transitioning from the dark ages to the age of ascension. So obviously a lot of practices that people follow are not actually healthy for their mind. Last evening I was talking to someone, a couple, husband and wife, and they have gone through a lot of problems. The karmics have tortured them a lot. And this girl, she lost her mother, her father actually. Her story was very touching, so I will share the story first, a brief about it, and then I will move on to the message. Somehow the message is connected to all these things that I'm talking about, and you will understand. Hope you understand, hope you absorb the energy of this particular channeling. So her father passed away when she was really young, maybe just 2-3 years old, and her mother had to remarry. But when the mother got married again, the stepfather did not accept the child, saying that she is not my blood, she is not my biological daughter, so I am not going to accept her. And the mother was okay with it. She let go of the child and the girl had to go and live with her grandparents. Fortunately, another saving grace with this woman was that she was never sexually abused or harmed, even though she lived from one house to another. She lived in many houses because unfortunately one of her grandparent, who was the provider of the house, also passed away after a few years. So this girl had no option but to stay with some uncle and auntie for a month, and she would stay at people's houses in exchange of the work that she would do. They would give her work and she would get to stay. And these are the relatives I'm talking about. Okay. So this type of programming, which is full of karmics, because right from the very beginning, the biggest karmic programmed behavior was shown to her, where a man wants to marry a woman, he loves that woman, he likes that woman, but he cannot accept the child from the previous marriage. And it's not even like she left the husband and she had an affair. The husband passed away, and the parents, because she was still young, parents got her remarried. In this situation also, this man, whosoever this man was, the stepfather, was not able to accept the child. In fact, I have come across so many people where their stepfathers have done so many horrible things to them that I have started disliking this word stepfather. Because stepfather means someone who steps up. Someone who steps up to take the role of the father. However, if you read Louise L. Hay's story, her stepfather used to sexually abuse her. And she was a girl who was raped at the age of 5. and her mother was a maid. She became one of those people who worked on past life regression, hypnosis, and she taught people how love is actually a medicine for AIDS and cancer. She got cancer twice herself, and she battled it and she came out of it. So these stepfathers and stepmothers, they have really created a very negative energy on this planet, because for them, as long as the child is their own, if it's a biological offspring, it's a child, it has life, it can live, it can do everything. But if the child is not their own, they will not show any humanity to that child. And this is the worst part, because twin flames, the starseed twin flames, they are extremely benevolent beings. As I said in the last channeling also, their benevolence, the level of benevolence is so high that they don't think that biological offsprings or biological connections are the only people who deserve to be around them, or they are worthy of their love. No, they don't think like that. For them, everybody is lovable, unless, of course, they are not horrible people. If they are good people, pure-hearted, innocent people, nice people, human beings, they would want to get anyone out of the low frequencies. And that's the reason why so many star-seed twin flames have taken birth on this planet at this point in time. Just so with their benevolence and their high vibrational energies, other people can also heal. The whole planet can heal. But first they need to remind themselves of who they are and their purpose on planet Earth. So now the message of this channeling, the very interesting message. I'm being shown a man here. Yes, in today's channeling I'm being shown a gender. But I strongly feel that this could be happening with the other gender also, because every time there's a big shift in the masculine energy, there is a big shift in feminine energy. But literally it is the feminine energy that's the cause of Kundalini awakening. So when in a man the feminine energy heals, when the dark mother heals, that's the time when he becomes more nurturing, and he wants to nurture the one woman who he really loves the most. And he wants to get out of the karmic trap. So last night when I was talking to this couple, and she told me, she had already told me her backstory, but yesterday the couple was there, both of them were there. And I could see that the man is extremely nurturing. They both work together, they live together, they raise a family together. And she's surrounded by the karmics, the mother-in-law, the sister-in-law, and all the people who have taken away her jewelry, taken away the money. She's paying off their loans. She's doing so much for them just because as a child she had to work very hard to be a part of the family. Now the husband is explaining her constantly that you should not get so attached. I mean, they are my people. These people who are troubling you are my own people. You have given them everything. Now you're working hard to run their house, to pay their loans, the money they took. And I don't want you to do that. I want to be by your side, and I want to be next to you and tell you that we should separate ourselves from them and we should live our own life. Now this is a very intelligent man, a very wise man. He's beyond this whole biological, non-biological trap, because he's more into who is a good person, who is a better person. Just because she's my mother, just because she's my sister or my brother or my father, doesn't mean that they're good human beings, because they are really troubling this poor woman, a child who was orphaned at a young age. He chose to marry her. When he got to know about her situation, about her life, he wanted to marry her. He really formed a very strong bond with this girl, and he was happy to be with her, and they have had a good life so far. But she's burdened. She's burdened with these responsibilities and duties because she's heavily programmed. Even when I was trying to tell her that you should actually listen to your husband, he is more understanding of the situation, she would be like, no, what will the world say? What will people think of me? And I was like, dude, what will people think of you? What do you mean by that? But anyway, let's move on from that. What I wanted to bring to the table is that in some cases, men are extremely nice and gentle, whereas in some cases they are so attached to this I, me, mine ego. If it's my blood, I will nurture, I will provide. Forget nurturing, they can only provide, such men. Men and women both become balanced when they can provide as well as nurture without feeling dragged or bogged down. Like providing is natural to them and nurturing is natural to them. And I won't say this to everyone, I'm going to say this to people who are on the twin flame ascension, because this is what twin flame ascension is all about. Twin flame is the energy of a man and a woman, two flames together, two different individual flames. So yes, I have worked with a lot of people, and there was this lady I worked with. She has gone through a lot in life according to her, and she has, taken care of the family when there was right time to do it, and she has got a lot of pain, and I do sympathize with her. I do empathize with her, actually, to be honest. But I told her that everything seems fine to me right now, and you're also happy in your life, but the only way you will grow and ascend, because she has those lust energies in a huge quantity, I sense, and for an ascensioner, that much lust is not good, because that will keep them into low frequencies, very anxious, and it will keep them attached to somebody who doesn't want them. Okay, and just because somebody doesn't want them, they will be wanting to be with other people who can give them a little bit of, some time. This channeling is about those men who have broken the barriers, and they now understand that these karmic templates are not really mine to be into. And maybe, as I was talking about that woman, she also had this masculine energy a lot, because she was raised and pampered in an environment where there was no such thing as, okay, you're a girl child or you're a guy child. So that thing was gone. She was pampered, she was given everything, she had everything, money, there's that. And in order to ascend, no matter how many problems we go through in the limbo state, all of us, we have challenges in the limbo state which we are able to conquer. The next step is to get out of the limbo state, and it's the twin flame ascension, the Kundalini awakening, that pushes us. But the problem is that in many people's cases, it becomes dormant. Why it becomes dormant? Because people are scared of pain and challenges. They don't want to step up. That's the biggest problem, that they don't want to step up. They are okay where they are because they have figured out a few things. Maybe they have figured out how to manage their money. If they were, going through financial problems or emotional problems or a huge amount of pain they have gone through, they will manage it somehow, and whatever they are getting, they'll be happy in that. So thus, what universe usually does, how it functions scientifically, is that whatever you are okay with, you will get that. If you don't want to grow, they will not force you to grow. That's for sure. This is a journey of free will. Nobody forces people. And the benevolent beings especially, they don't force. They will think and always know that when the right time will come, this person will grow. If the right divine timing has not come, then definitely this person will stop. In twin flame journey, you need to have stronger will, because the solutions are also given from time to time, and you can choose. So it's not really only about what is given to you. It's more about what you choose. If you choose ascension and if you remain dedicated to it, you will reap the benefits. You will experience what other people cannot experience. But you also need to let go of that fear of society, of the world, of your situations, your current situations. You're not able to let go because you have certain fear in your mind that something bad will happen. However, so far, nothing bad has actually happened. You've only grown. No matter how many problems you faced, no matter how many challenges you have faced, you are still growing. That's the thing you need to think. You have to compare yourself with the previous version of you. You have to look at the progress. So now, my friends, this man whose energy I'm picking, very strong energy, he fell in love with his divine counterpart. He met this beautiful person and he was always looking for love. And let me tell you, he used to be a playboy, a Casanova. Even that is being shown to me. He had a strong playboy Casanova image because he was raised in a very confident environment. His mother especially, because here I'm being shown the toxic feminine, not the father. The patriarchal energies were better than the matriarchal energies. And this is how men usually grow in twin flame ascension journey. For women, it is opposite. The provider is weak and he cannot control or he cannot handle everybody, especially the woman who is constantly in pain because of the weak provider energy. She is not able to do anything herself. So both of them are mirroring. Neither she is going to get up, go out there and make a change and inspire the man when he is low. Neither he will want to get out of his weaknesses and limitations and be like, okay, if she's not understanding it right now, I'll do it myself. But they keep blaming each other, they can't leave each other, and it is the children. They are the innocent ones on whom they bleed because they are wounded too, right? They are wounded. Both of them are wounded, but they are bleeding on the wrong people. So this man becomes intelligent and wise over a period of time. He obviously loved this beautiful person, this very high vibrational soul that he had never come across. He had never met a woman like her. Never. But both of them were not in absolute healed energies and he had to also be a catalyst. So he could choose. People can choose. Anyone can choose. Either you remain a catalyst, you help that person or you move on from that person. You'll always get everything you want. People who are catalysts, they also get all the karmic things they want. Okay, marriage, another relationship or whatever it is. Because they have contributed unknowingly to a very good cause. Taking someone up in their ascension journey is the best thing you can do to you. So as a result of that, they get some gifts and they'll only get what they can think of. So most such people think of only karmic utilities or karmic things or karmic relationships, karmic jobs, nothing else. So when he was with this high vibrational woman, he was in love with her and he knew that in order to be with her, I have to change. I cannot continue to live in this environment. And maybe he did try to change a lot. But his addictions, his mental disorders, which most people have, nothing wrong about it. It could be anything, His anxiety, his depression, and the influence of the toxic mother. This is a toxic mother who does not want to leave the son. For her, the son is also the replacement of her husband. And it may not be sexual, but there is this connotation that she thinks that he is mine, he belongs to me. No other woman can be with him. No other woman can love him. So she is not scared of any other karmic entanglement. She's not been insecure because of karmics, because she knows that karmic doesn't love. She's also intelligent, okay? Let's understand, manipulators are very intelligent people too. But they are not more intelligent than the ascensioners. Ascensioners still look them as dwarfs once they grow, obviously. They can't manipulate the ascensioner. In fact, ascensioners are like, okay, boy, I don't even need you. Please, manipulate someone else. So she is this manipulative person. She knows the karmics very well. She herself has this strong karmic energy. And she has maybe wrapped a lot of men around with her beauty. It's not necessary just the husband was smitten by her. There were many other people who are smitten by her. And in some cases, the husband may or may not be there. Maybe he has passed over. Maybe they got divorced. Maybe they got separated. Maybe she didn't need him anymore, so she discarded him. She was like, yeah, whatever. I don't need this guy anymore. I have been with him for a while. I need someone better. So she'll look for someone better. Even if that means destroying other person's house and happiness. She doesn't care. So she herself is a karmic and she's possessing the son, the man, so much. And she's taught the same thing to her daughters. And if she has any other child, any other boy, she's not the type who would not love the daughter, but she would not possess the daughter so much. Maybe she's going to use the daughter for money too. She's going to train the daughter very well to trap rich, wealthy men just like her, or maybe a single man would do. She doesn't want her daughter to have any type of lack or limitations in terms of money and wealth, because karmics, they strive wealth and power. They know or they think that money can give them power. So all of them are money conscious, all of them are money hungry. They want to save a lot of money, they want to have a lot of wealth. They might not even require that much money. They might not even need, and because of this, they might be in credit, they might be in loan. So it's their own trap that they have built up, own loop that they have built up. Now this man doesn't want to be in this loop because he was with this high vibrational woman who after separation has become even better. He cannot even recognize her anymore. Like, was she the same person that I was dating? Really? Was she the one that I was dating? Don't think she was the one. Maybe I was dating some other person, it seems to me. Because when we were together, we had many ups and downs, he thinks, but we had some parts of it were very real. He feels that way. Some parts of whatever I experience with this person is real. It's not what my family, or especially my mother, who has maximum influence and hold on my life. And he's also trying to get out of that hold. It's not like he's not trying. Maybe he needs to understand motherhood better. Why is the mother so possessive? Why is the mother always like, he's my son, he's my son? And she's not having problems with the one night stands he does or the flings he's into. No. Because they are not as strong as the high vibrational woman. The high vibrational woman took away all her control. She was very powerful and confident in front of this woman. And eventually, when she realized that the man cannot step up, he got stuck. When she realizes that, she tried to pull him up. She tried to tell him, hey, leave your fear. I know you're pampered. I know you've been given everything on a silver spoon without doing much hard work. You are a poor provider. Your masculine energy is not developed. You need to get out of this trap. You need to become a better person. You need to get a job. You need to make money. You need to be able to take care of your own family. But he can't. He's so used to the freebies. He's so used to the pampering. He's the enabled narcissist. He cannot. And she moves on. And this is where the story changes. Most of you people think that most people who are listening to these channelings and most people who are here, they are the ones who were dumped. In some cases, yes, they were dumped, they were blocked in some cases, because there are many situations in the twin flame ascension journey. Like I can see very young children also in this ascension, just in their teenage, and they are very dedicated. Just in college, they are very dedicated. Some are not. Some are initially, they like the messages and they like to hear the content, and they'll mail to me, message to me, add me on Instagram also. But later on, they start losing the grip of it because they don't want to do all the ascension work. They also want to be like the others. They also want to fit in with their Instagram contemporaries or competitions. They feel, oh, if she's getting 400 likes or 500 likes, and even I can. But it's very simple. You just have to pay to Instagram and anyone can get likes and views. I don't know why most people don't know about it. Because everybody wants to have organic growth. Everybody wants that people should come to them on their own. But that doesn't happen. Hello, this is Instagram, this is social media. It will only happen if you're ready to do consistent work. Like this YouTube channel that you're listening to, this is not the only YouTube channel I've worked on. I have promoted over 40 movies on the digital platform. These movies, most of them were A-lister celebrities were there. And I merged them with many online games. So social media at that time was not even a tool that we were interested into. But yeah, there were Facebook ads and there were this and that. So I was always aware that you can easily get popular. But what happens when people get popular? They want to maintain that popularity. And then it becomes a rat race. Then it becomes a mental stress and anxiety. But if you love what you do, now being popular is not something that ideally people should love. People should focus more on building themselves and sharing with the world what they know, the truth, what they know. So many a times teenagers, college goers, they are also in the ascension journey, but they become dormant after a while because they are again scared of losing the gang or scared of not fitting in. And this man, I think, went through the same thing, similar thing. He was scared of being left out. He thought that if I'm going to choose this high vibrational woman, my lover, the love of my life, I will be left out, I will be ostracized. And he could not see in the future. He could not see that things will be okay. I just have to hold her hand. I just have to be the man in the relationship. We will both support each other. We will both do things for each other. Maybe there are days she also gets negative. Maybe there are days that she cannot handle it anymore because there's so much happening, so much drama happening. So he doesn't think any of that because he's still not developed empathy. And empathy is developed by going through pain. If you go through pain, you will develop empathy. That's why pain is so important. That's why you have to be broken sometimes. That's why certain souls, they go through, they choose the process of pain and suffering and misery, which I mentioned in my last channeling also, that most RC twin flames don't have previous karma, most of them, or they have very less karma, or they come from a dimension where they do have little bit of karma. But when they come to planet Earth, they soak the karma of other people purposely, not like a miserable person. Not like, oh, why am I here on this journey? Why did I choose to volunteer? I want to go back. No, I can't do this anymore. No, they are not like that. Most of them are not like that. They're very bold and brave actually. They will be like, okay, fine. Maybe some days they will cry. Maybe some days they will weep. But they have a fighter spirit in them. They will come back again and again. So he thought that she doesn't have the fighter spirit and she will never come back because she is not the real deal. My mother is right maybe. Or any other karmic he encounters at this point when they are going through the separation, the long separation process. He feels that this karmic is right for me because she's got everything. Some of the twin flame people have reported to me, and it's quite interesting actually. They have reported to me that they've liked a certain type of person, certain type of height, certain type of personality, certain type of wealth, certain type of things going on with them, looks, and their twin flame is literally the opposite of that. Twin flame, whosoever they think, supposed twin flame, very, very strong. Actually, I think the word should be divine counterpart. And I'm doing this channeling simply because I'm picking on to this specific situation, but I want all of you to understand the energy around it. Because sometimes it's not just about the specific situations. It is the core inside, which is same for most people. They are so drawn to this person, but it's not at all like the person they always wanted or dreamt of. But the karmic, the final karmic, is literally exactly what they wanted. Because what they wanted, something that they don't know, what they wanted is actually a result of the programming that they've been into. If a woman is constantly told by her mother throughout her childhood that your husband will be very rich, he will be a prince, he will come riding on a horse and rescue you, he will do this, he will do that. Karmically, maybe the child is a good manifestor if the child is, based on her looks, based on her genes, she might attract literally that. The same thing. But if it's an ascensioner, they will not be happy in the karmic situation. And this is what happened with this man. After separation, he decided to go ahead with the karmic who literally would have told him that I will do everything for you. You just be mine. You just be with me. Because she liked his energy. She liked his soul. She liked the attributes or the way he spoke. Now she wants the energy of that man. So she is willing to do anything to get this man. She knows maybe he's dating someone else. She knows maybe they are going through a tough time, and she manipulates that situation and she enters into his life during that time frame. Maybe this man is confused, and as I said, he goes back to this high vibrational girlfriend or woman he's been with. In some cases, he may have gotten married also. But I'm being shown that they don't get married. They are almost married, I'm being told. Either they were in a live-in relationship or they lived very close by each other. They were spending a lot of time with each other. Most of their time they were spending with each other. And for some people during this transitional phase, they are jobless or they don't have anything to do. So they get to spend all that time. But empty mind is a devil's workshop too. So negativity has to seep in. And then there are these karmic MILs and SILs and BILs and whatnot, relatives. If she has to deal with these people on his side, of course she has her own family members, her own relatives to also deal with, who are also karmic in nature. So there's too much happening and nobody knows what to do, how to deal with it, because of course money is required. And if they're both not making so much money, if they're both going through financial crisis, if they're both going to ascension symptoms, both of them are going through ascension symptoms at the same time in their own way. It may be different for both of them, but they are ascension symptoms which are customized for them. So there's a big clash. There are fights, there are arguments, there's negativity. And he doesn't want to fix. Maybe she's trying very hard to fix. Maybe she's doing spiritual inner work. Maybe she's taking care of her diet. Maybe she's trying to get a good job or make more money somehow, get into business, get into job. Or maybe she wants to study further and she feels that if she's going to do this particular course or do this particular degree or something, she might land up in a fancy job, which may also be a karmic template. Let me tell you that. Because degrees don't make you. The type of education that has been given to the planet right now, this is a very low level of education. This is not even education, for which people are spending millions of dollars. Millions of dollars goes into people's education right from the age of 3 till they do college. And yet, it is not the right type of education that they deserve to get or they should get for the growth of their soul. For the purpose of soul upliftment, a different type of education is needed, which has mindfulness, which have lessons of life, which have strong health and fitness exercises, a discipline that they need to follow. All of that is required. So, this man now finally, after being with the karmic for so long, or time seems to have slowed down for him, he cannot take it anymore every single day. Because he wanted, say, a woman, a specific type of woman. This type of ass, this type of body, this type of face, this type of, she should belong to this state or this city or this area, or she should have so much money. She should be the one making the money, doing the business, doing the work. Just like my mother or just like other people, have done. They should be the ones to take care of me. I cannot take care of anyone. The only person he ever wanted to take care of was this high vibrational woman he fell in love with. And this was real love. But he was so hypnotized and so mesmerized by the karmic world, it kept coming back to him. And maybe during the multiple separations they had, he was sleeping around with other such women. But every time he would be with some women, he would hate it. He would be disgusted by it. And that would lead him back to this woman who would forgive him each time. But after a certain point of time, she cannot do that. She wants to forgive him, but she wants to forget him too. She wants to move on because he's a weak man. He doesn't have the courage to step out of his weaknesses. He doesn't want to do the inner work. He doesn't want to work. Forget inner work. He doesn't want to work. He wants everything easy. He wants everything on his lap. Okay? So she leaves him. So some of you might be thinking that it's always, the other person who's dumped. No, in many cases, it is the feminine who walks out because they are done with that person. They cannot. They have given them maybe 4 years, 5 years. A lot of time has gone into that horrible, toxic relationship. And in some cases, the relationships can go really toxic. I'm not kidding about it. And they cannot themselves take it anymore. They prefer to walk away from toxicity. If people have started throwing things at each other, it's becoming very toxic. If they're abusing each other constantly, and still they come again to each other and have physical intimacy. So they're actually literally tolerating each other only for physical intimacy and lust. Then that means it's a very toxic place to be in. And for an ascensioner who's dedicated to source, for any ascensioner, it can take a toll on them and they don't want to do it anymore. So when this person walks away and then he goes back to this girl, okay, please come back to me. She keeps a condition that if you're not going to work on yourself, if you're not going to be independent, if you're not going to move away from your karmic situations, from the karmic entanglements, I'm sure they don't use this language, which is something that I'm using for the sake of channeling and to also help you understand it better. If you can't get out of these things, you can't be with me. Because every time we come together, we put so much hard work into it, we put so much energy into it. Every time we come back together, we cannot be in peace. We are always sad and miserable and fighting and arguing. I can't deal with this anymore. We'll kill each other like this. So you better pull up your socks and you better become independent, because you can't depend on your family or your best friends or whosoever it is for suggestions, for advice, for all the things that you do, which puts me into this situation where I'm treated like a horrible, wrong person. And after some time, you come back to me saying, oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. Can't deal with this anymore. I can't be in this life anymore. And so he will come back. But he always comes back as a weak man, as a lustful man. He wants to just have sex with her maybe, because he's not happy with his wife or with his karmic girlfriend. He feels like a slave or a servant over there. But it's a type of slavery that they knowingly, purposely want to do, because there's like money or luxuries or something is being given to them. Some bait is being given to them. And only when the karmic tortures him like anything, only when the karmic shows him what real slavery is all about, because he was not getting it, When your counterpart is telling you that this is slavery of the mind, you're just a slave, you can't even get up and do things for yourself, you are a slave, you can't even get a job to take care of yourself, you can't even make both ends meet, even for your own self. Even for one person you can't do it. How the hell will you do it for me? Because I have a very big plan. I have a huge big plan. It's not going to be easy. So it's better, my dear, I have loved you with all my heart, with all my soul. I've done everything to keep you happy, but I cannot be with a weak man, because I am now integrating with Source. I think my soulmate is Source, because Source gives me all the love and affection. All you give me is torture, pain. All you do to me is point out my mistakes. All you do to me is fight with me. All you do is never take a stand for me. Maybe he took a stand for her couple of times. Maybe she doesn't even know about it. Maybe he had many fights and he also got tired. And maybe not, but maybe, I think more of maybe, I'm saying it here. I personally feel, even though they are thinking maybe, I personally, from this bird's eye view perspective, from this download perspective, I think that was their path. They had to go through that path. He had to marry or engage with the karmic. He would keep telling the karmics around him that I cannot do anything for you. I will never do anything for you. Maybe To the mother also he said that I will not do anything for you. Whole life I will not. The only person I will do anything for is my lover, the love of my life. It is this woman, the high vibrational woman. I will only do it for her and for nobody else, come what may. And the toxic mother, the toxic sister, or anybody else who's there, toxic brother, brother-in-law, father, father-in-law, whatever. I don't know exactly how many people, but all those toxic people take this as a challenge. Now they want to separate them at any cost. And they will make sure that they will use every opportunity to poison his mind against her. To tell him that she's not a good woman. She's not a right woman for you. She's a liar. She's false. She's fake. You leave her and you'll be very happy. And obviously he doesn't listen to them because he's lived with them for what, 30, 40 years. He knows. Maybe 50 years. Because I was not given the age group. Maybe he's lived with them for so many years. He's literally on the verge of calling them out on their bullshit. But that's when he meets his love. So he gets distracted. And suddenly, when he goes through the torture that this, and it's not even the torture of the relationship. To be frank, it is the ascension symptom. All of the things that they are both experiencing are ascension symptoms because they're changing. They're actually stepping out from a very dark, deep hellhole. So they have found each other. Somehow they attracted each other. Somehow they reached to that point because they chose nothing else but true love. At a certain point, both of them were given many opportunities, but both of them were like, no, we will choose love. This time, we'll choose love. Not career, not job, not anything but love. But then it's not like you have to keep doing the same thing every day. Once you choose, then you have to build it better. You have to build yourself up. And getting out of the falsehood of this planet requires time and effort. It's not like random decisions like shifting from one company to another, moving from one job to another. It is a completely different ball game. Now he comes back to being that person who had once challenged the whole karmic system against him. He had challenged that I'll never earn a penny or a cent for you all. Everything that I will earn or I will do, all the hard work that I'll do it only for her. She's the only one who deserves it, who deserves my support and my energy. I will provide for her. I will do everything I can for her. Only and only for her. But when all the ascension symptoms take over, the negativity takes over, he forgets about it and eventually he loses. And he loses in a very smart, unique way. He thinks that he's actually winning. He thinks that he's going away from his mother and sister influence or any of those toxic feminine influences in his life. It can be grandmother also, my friends. It can be some aunties also. When he's getting out of those influences, but he's in escape mode, so the karmic he attracts is nobody else but their energy. Same energy. The only thing is she looks different and she's sweeter. Because the karmics, that's how they get people. They're nice and they're sweet and they're like, oh yeah, I understand you. They also have a lot of spiritual gibberish knowledge which they use. Because they know the trends. Most karmics, they know the trends. The ongoing trends. In one of my blogs, I had mentioned about how spiritual fuckboys have been formed in the planet today. So earlier they were only fuckboys whose only job was to sleep with women, and to get that they would do anything, they would say anything, and later on they'll just discard them. But now they've realized that the trends are changing. People are awakening, people are becoming healthier, and the best energy, the purest, the good energy is in the ascensioners. That's why even demonic agents get attracted to them. Now they have to become very strong. They can literally sense someone coming near to them even if they're kilometers away. And they know how to shoo them away. Shoo them away, literally. Hey you, get lost. Get lost from here, okay? Your game will not work with me. That's the type of confidence an ascensioner needs to have in them. A man or a woman, both. It's equal for both. There are no gender roles gender biases over here, that only a female can do this, only a man can do this. You have been given the man and woman body for a reason. You have been given the masculine body so that you can eventually understand how it feels for the feminines. And all those females who are twin flames, you have female body, but you know that you also have provider energies and masculine energies. So you need to fix those masculine and feminine energies both. They have to fix the feminine in them and you have to fix the masculine in them. The women are here to fix the masculine and the men are here to fix the feminine by first fixing their own energy. Bringing in more elements into their energy. So he has to become a good provider first. And he has to then become a good nurturer. She was already, say, a good provider. Now she has to be a good nurturer. She also needs to awaken the mother energy within her. Now these people definitely don't think that only biological connections or biological people are worth the love. No. And that's the reason why most of them are not very attracted with the idea of marriage and childbirth. This is the reason why starseed twin flames are different than other people. And I don't want to give you guys a label so that you become superior. And I know some people would like to say that twin flame is this and that. Yeah, because some people have created a label out of it and they've started using it to become superior, to become better, to tell people, yeah, you know what, I'm a twin flame, I know much more than you. That's not the thing. If you're doing that, you're not even a twin flame. But yeah, if you know something, truth for that fact, for that matter or fact, if it's the truth, you can challenge anyone. But if it's the truth, would you need to challenge anyone? Think about it. If it's actually the truth, would you need to challenge anybody? You will challenge only those people who question the truth and try to bring you down. If they say, hey, your ascension work or whatever you're doing, this is all nonsense, gibberish, this is not real. You can tell them by your own experience that it is genuine and authentic and I know it. And what you're saying is absolute false. And I will not entertain you anymore. So literally, it's not like you have to look at the biological body. You have to look at the energy of the person. If you feel that your masculine or your feminine, gender-wise, needs to do inner work and they're not getting it, you have to do something important that will create the shift. You have to work on yourself. You have to tell them that, you know what, if I'm going to hang around with you for too long, I'll become just like you. And we'll kill each other. Because we can't go away from each other, we can't be with each other. It's that bad right now. So better we go away. So sometimes you need to also have that type of conviction of moving on or moving away when you have given your 100%, maybe more than 100%, and the other person is not able to see it. So now when the torture, third degree starts, the karmic torture, third degree torture that has been given to criminals in the jail, when it energetically starts, this is when he starts to freak out. Now he's trapped. He can't get out. He's definitely into some legal battle because he is not able to love the karmic the way he was loving his divine counterpart. He is not able to take care of this woman. Even though she is bringing everything on the table, he is not happy with her. He thought that he will be happy. He assumed that he will be fine. He assumed that life will be easy from here. But it's not. It's getting more and more messier. It's getting more and more annoying. He can't be with her. He can't tolerate her face. And she's literally on his face and on his case all the time. And worse is that she's joined forces with the other karmics around him. Could be the mother, sister, brother, father, uncle, auntie, whosoever. So now it's like they've all ganged up against him, torturing him, making him feel he's a low creature, making him feel he depends on them, making him feel that he's nothing without them and he has to do what they want him to do. Initially, it was more like you do what you want to do. I'll be by your side. I'll be your servant. I love you. I admire you. And now it's like I'm the boss. So if you want the luxuries, if you want the money, if you want this or that, you got to do what I tell you to do. You have to please me. And if it was a karmic man, any other man, he would have done that. We see it in so many movies and stories. The man is not into the woman. She's hot, beautiful, attractive, but he's only into the money. So he's going to pretend to be a great husband for 5, 6, 7, 10 years also. Because she's got the money. He is not like that. He's not a false person. That's the thing. He may have hurt his feminine a lot, but he's not a bad person. He's genuine. So because of his genuinity, he cannot take it anymore. He can't be the slave. He can't be that paid help that they have turned him to be. He is frustrated, and when he doesn't do what she says, she scares him with legal implications. She tells him, I will destroy you. This is not a good woman telling a bad man to move on. She is a bad woman, a toxic woman who is using a good man's energy. And she's scaring him because she knows he can't do anything. He's useless. And you know who he thinks about most at this point in time? Obviously, his high vibrational girlfriend, who is now out of his reach. Another problem has appeared. She is not willing to meet him or talk to him. She's telling him that, dude, you're still married to someone. Shame on you. Go and be with your wife or go and be with your girlfriend. Shame on you. First you left me for someone else. Now you are leaving that person for me. And what do you want from me? Just intimacy. Because he cannot, understand that actually it's not intimacy he seeks. Actually he wants to be with her. And he was always in those notion that I'm such a player and I'm so good that every time I'll go back to her, she will accept me. But sorry, she has changed. She has changed and become such an amazing person that he cannot even believe that she was the person he was with. Because she's so out of his reach. And he's constantly thinking about her. He's feeling very bad about his mistakes. He is thinking that I have done the worst thing of my life because I wrote her off. I thought that she's not good. I thought she's false. I believed the karmics around me. I chose karmics for me, not her. I left her, stranded her. I used her. I tricked her. I did all possible bad things to her. And she doesn't even want to see my face now. What do? I'm stuck. So if you want to know what happens in this channeling, the next part of it, if you want the next part of it, please comment below and only then I will share the next part of this channeling. Because even I want to know how many people are genuinely interested in the channelings and how many people actually listen to the whole thing. If you reach till here and if you want to know next part of it, then comment below that yes, you want me to continue with this channeling. For your personal situations, you can write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com after going through the description box. Sometimes PayPal does not give us the email address, or if it gives the email address, it's not the verified one. So the best thing to do is write to me immediately as soon as you book the session so that I can schedule the next meeting. If it's a therapy, then there are other things I need to send to you. I need to send you the forms. I need to send you some questionnaires that you need to fill and give back to me. You can support my content on Patreon and the link is also given in the description box. If people want to support my content, I'm really grateful for that and it's nice, but maybe you guys can get something in exchange like a bonus. Alright? You can also get my book In the Name of Love, and everybody who's in the ascension journey must read it because it's a very high vibrational book and it's the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. Information in the description box will not apply to people who are very popular and famous. They need to contact me and connect with me and figure out how to go about their therapy or personal sessions. And if you want me to continue this channeling, then please comment below. I'll see you soon in another one. One love and peace out and Jai Shri Ram.